Ladies and gentlemen, we are live tonight for another edition of NASCAR 06 Total Team Control. Busch Series racing at the Watkins Glen International for race 24 of 35 on this Do It for Dale Busch Series season for the running of the Zippo 200 live on KRC today. And also today with this, it is going to be a doubleheader. We just ran the first race at IRP on the night. Our second race at Watkins Glen is about to begin as well. As that race at IRP just took 1 hour and 9 minutes, I figured it was going to be a quick one. That's why we are here for race number 2. So like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into the second race. This one is almost the length of the Cup race that we had on Sunday at Watkins Glen. That race took over 3 hours, considering the fact that there were 13 cautions, so hopefully it doesn't take quite that long and that many yellows today. We'll have to wait and see. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we get into qualifying for today's race. Changed the paint scheme from race 1 to race 2 from the Oreo Ritz paint scheme now to the Blue Menard scheme, so hopefully better luck will be on Dale Jr.'s side. Coming in off a 5th place finish in the first race today at IRP, and he did win the only road course race of the year in the Busch Series season just 2 races ago at the Old Spice Speedway, so Earnhardt's got that going for him. It's just the second time I've raced at this track, but luckily, recently we just ran the Cup race here, so quite a few laps under Junior's belt, trying to learn some things from the Cup race to this race. He finished second in the Cup Series race. And he's been pretty good on the road courses in both the Busch and the Cup Series season. 1 for 1 in the Busch Series, and he finished first and second in the 2 Cup road course races. And he's done with the Cup races on the road courses. Looking for more stability in this race today, though. Sizia and Altfer for Express Earl Arnold Jr., Dark Crypto, and others, welcome into the stream. Most of you were just watching that last race. Earnhardt a little hard into the braking zone through turns 5 and 6. This is just his get up to speed / warm-up lap. We'll have 2 laps to try and set the quick time when he gets back to the start-finish line this time by. I do have to say the handling of this car is a lot better than what it was in the Cup Series. Based off the warm-up lap, we'll see in traffic how it will be. That is what cost him at IRP. He still had a 5th place finish, but didn't lead any laps. And he's going to need a good qualifying effort today. And honestly, through turn 1, it is not looking good for Dale Jr. He's going to try to work him back up, and he already makes a mistake on lap 1 through the S's. That was just terrible. Overdrove it. He's trying to get as close to that guardrail as possible. There was no grass in that area. He was going to try to take the asphalt that was open, and unfortunately it bit him. So this first lap is not going to be good. He's probably going to be at the rear of the field, so he is banking this qualifying session basically on lap 2 now. I just mentioned how good the handling of this car is. Hopefully that hit doesn't knock the handling of the car out of whack for lap number 2, because he is going to have to pick the pace up mightily. Going wide off turn 7, that's going to already mess up this second lap just a little bit. Mainly because of that speed down the main straightaway. Earnhardt pushing just a little too hard right now. Michael Turner, welcome into the stream. Going to try to scrape the wall again. This is not going to be good for Earnhardt. If he gets top 10, I think he'll take it at this point. It's going to be even harder to pass here than what it was at IRP. And knowing that it is probably going to be a wild race, you do not want to be starting towards the back. Through the bus stop, heading towards turn 5. Dale Jr. down on the bottom of the racetrack, hugging that curbing all the way through the corner. Starting to work his way on that tracker on the bottom of the screen as you see inside the top 10 again. It's going to have to be really, really good, though, into turn 6 and 7. Turn 6 is probably where he struggled the most in the Cup race. Into 7. He's going to be middle of the road, maybe just outside the top 10 as he gets back to the start-finish line. A 1:11.380. 14th for Dale Jr. He just did not get a good lap together on either one of those 2 laps, really. J.J. Yaley, our winner at IRP, will try to go for back-to-back today as he will be starting on the pole. And it looks like Clint Boyer might be starting deep in the field because I did not see him yet on the qualifying order at the top of the screen. A lot of Cup regulars in this race at the Glen. Oh, I must have missed him. Yeah, never mind. He's starting 5th. I missed him the first time. So Boyer will be starting 5th place. Again, he is the points leader coming in. Those points are updated on the top of the screen, by the way, as well. Quick put Allmendinger in the car. 14th for Reinbeck. Jesus. Oh, jeez. Well, we'll see. 10 likes on the stream already. Let's see if we can get more than what we had in the last stream. We had 22. Green flag in the air and 82 laps at the Glen is underway. What is likely going to be a wild wreckfest of a race, hence the thumbnail. We're going to hope it isn't, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Just keeping it off the curbing, or on the curbing, I should say, and out of the grass. Turn 1, lap 1. He's going to give up a spot so he's not side by side in the S's. He struggled in the S's in qualifying. He's alright with giving up one spot in the first couple corners. And he's going to try to get the spot back into the bus stop, perhaps. Side by side into the bus stop. Now kind of backs out of it. A lot of 2x2 traffic going through there. Thought better of it. Junior tried not to be too aggressive. 82 laps on a road course is quite a long time. Now, obviously, we had a 200-lap road course race last week at Old Spice Speedway, so that's a lot longer than this race, but still a pretty long race considering the Cup race is only 8 laps longer than this one on this 2.45-mile road course. And we're probably going to see a lot of caution, so Dale Jr. just trying to stay out of trouble today. He's got Ryan Newman all over him right now. Junior gets back in the gas way too soon. In turn 7, that cost him quite a bit of time. And it looks like lap 1 will be led by Tony Raines, who I believe is in the 33 car today. Junior side by side into the S's. A little contact with the 106 car. Luckily, he gets through. That could have been a wreck. And now he's on the outside of the 120 of Hamilton. Looking. Oh, he's going to get blocked by the car in front of him. A little contact with Hamilton. Now he just gets ran into the back of by the 106. Now, granted, he did get into the 106 in the S's. So maybe a little payback. More problems in turn 5. Junior right back to where he started in 14th at least. Down into turn 6, locking the brakes up just a bit. Driving underneath John Hamilton. A little contact with Hamilton now. And looking low at the start-finish line. He'll go back towards the top, and now he'll try to pull out a line and make a pass into turn 1. And he is going to clear Hamilton with a clean pass that time in turn 1. A lot of blocking going on by these cars down this straightaway heading towards the bus stop. Really trying to protect their positioning. What is one of the hardest braking corners on the track. Earnhardt to the outside now in turn 5 this time. He's going to angle that car down to the bottom off the exit, looking for a crossover on the 86, who he runs side by side with for the time being. Into turn 6, up ahead. Junior going to have the bottom into 7. That'll be an advantage. And he'll be able to make the pass in turn 7. So he does get by 2 cars that lap up to 12th. Looks like Clint Boyer's lost a couple spots at the start. He's down on the inside looking to make a charge towards turn 1. Couple cars. Looks like Kyle Busch pulls out of line trying to make a pass on the 133. And Boyer could not get around the car in front of him. Side by side in the S's. Danger spot. Again to be side by side, but Junior's going to complete a clean pass that time. Aggressive move, paid off cleanly at that. Good pass for Earnhardt. Lap 4, we've already made it further without a caution in this race than the Cup race where we had our first yellow on lap 3. Busch with a little bounce off the curb. Exiting the bus stop towards turn 5. Junior looking low, and he's alongside Busch. He's going to try to side draft him now. Busch with a block. Down to the inside goes Dale Jr. just underneath the 5 car, who really squeezes him in turn 6. Off the curb, runs into the side of Busch, and he'll take over the 10th place spot with that aggressive move. And Busch couldn't quite get to the back bumper of Earnhardt that time either. Boyer just a couple spots ahead. A little contact in turn 1 as Dale Jr. gets around the 133. He'll just sit behind Miller right now in the S's. Oh, well, maybe not. He got a run. He actually didn't go full bore through there, and he gets alongside, and Miller with a block, though. And they're going to work their way into the bus stop just up ahead. Junior staying in line right now. Trying to get to the inside of Miller. He's definitely faster than the 21 car in front of him. Can't make the pass right now, though. And he'll stay in the draft as they head towards the next long straightaway down into 6, where he's passed a couple cars already today. Got into Miller. Miller gets into Boyer. A lot of damage on the front bumper of the 21 cars. He creamed the 2. Look at the damage on the back of Boyer's car as well. And we have race number 4 in the ensuing rivalry between Boyer and Earnhardt as they run nose to tail down towards turn 1 for 7. Junior pulling out of line, looking to make a pass on the 2 car. Side by side for position. Boyer going down to side draft Junior, but Junior going to pass him cleanly. No contact between the 2 cars that time, and Earnhardt up another spot, up to P7. Kenny Wallace, who's blown an engine in the last 2 races right in front of Dale Jr. Jr. overruns the bus stop that time. Oh, Boyer cleans Earnhardt out! My goodness. More problems between Boyer and Earnhardt. I don't know if the 81 came down and the 2 was already there, but it seemed like Earnhardt held his line. The 2 just shot it in deep. Trying to get to the inside of Earnhardt towards turn 5, and he hooked him. Caution's out for the first time today. Junior involved in the accident. After Junior passed him clean just a couple laps prior. And Earnhardt's going to have to go to the tail. I didn't think the rivalry was done yet. Sad part is he's getting way more licks on us than we are on him. That's not even fair. Reagan Fan 6, welcome to the stream. Just cut down on him. Well, he kind of hooked us. I thought we were driving away from him, and then I kind of made a mistake in the bus stop, and he got to us, and he hooked us as soon as he got to us. 69-hour energy. Sizeon, all welcome back into race 2. For Express. It says returns of the Denny Coke 600. Well, now Dale Jr. is going to have to do this the hard way, coming from the back of the pack. Restarted lap 10 following our first caution of the day. I probably did come down a little bit. Wow, a lot of cars checking up down towards turn 1. Oh, Junior clipping the sand. He was just trying to get through there cleanly, and the sand kind of slowed him down, like he would have been able to pass a couple more cars if he didn't hit it. Still got up to 33rd. He wanted to take advantage knowing there was going to be a checkup into turn 1. Probably going to see more checking up going into the bus stop this time. A lot of 2x2 action up ahead. One car off the curb. Washes a bit wide. Junior got into the tire wall. Just a brief little touch. Back to the inside as he's trying to get along Brian Vickers in the 57. He is there. Looks high. Into the back of Jordan, who hooks a car, and that's going to be another yellow as we have a wreck in turn 6. Well, chain reaction of events that time as Dale Jr. hooked the back of Michael Jordan Jr. and launched him into the 184. Spins the 184 car into the guardrail in turn 6. And we have caution number 2. And Jr. will have to go to the back again, bringing out that yellow. That was kind of similar to what we saw on the bus stop earlier in the race. The contact when, who'd we launch? Was it launched Brandon Miller up into the 2. Miller was trying to pull off a late block, and that was kind of similar to what happened there in 6, only there was an accident. Decoy, welcome to the stream. Patrick Shadley, I see in the chat. I understand why you guys might be frustrated with this, but it didn't even pit us that time. I don't know why. Said we didn't have any damage, which was weird because I thought we did. Secret tunnel. Green flag back in the air. Hopefully Junior can get through turn 1 a little cleaner this time, try to pick up more spots. .117 didn't give him a lot of room. Well, Junior was able to squeeze, and because he just kept it out of the sand, he gained one more position. Oh, we got trouble. Caution's out. That's a big-time yellow for Earnhardt. Picked up 11 spots and then gets a quick yellow. Debris off of Brandon Miller's race car will be our 3rd caution of the day. That was from the damage he had after getting into the back of Boyer earlier, so. I noticed he had quite a bit of damage, and I was wondering if he was going to have debris, and it finally sheds. So caution at lap 15 will now be our 3rd yellow already in today's race. It wasn't Junior's fault that time. I was half tempted to pit for tires, but I need to get track position first. I'd imagine the field will stay out. It may be closer to a 2-stop race compared to the Cup race, considering it's 8 laps shorter. Fuel window not quite as long in these cars, though, either. Sure hope they keep Mike Joy and find better casters. Like supporting cast around him. They'll keep Mike Joy. Mike Joy's got a job basically as long as he doesn't stay retired is the big thing. You know, when will he retire? Because I think he's in his late 70s right now. Mid to late 70s. Taking down in the sand. Cut his speed off just a little bit as he gets squeezed. It's up to 26. He only gained 7 spots that time, compared to 10 or 11 before that as he washed back down into the sand. One car trying to outbrake Earnhardt into the bus stop, and Dale Jr. got caught napping that time as he lost a spot. He was just trying not to run into the cars in front of him. Being back at the pack. 33 car, who I believe is Tony Raines this race. If it's not Raines, it's Tony Stewart. It's one of the 2 Tonys that is leading this race right now. And caution's out again, our 4th yellow of the race. My goodness. Caution's breeding cautions at Watkins Glen, and it looks like debris off Clint Boyer's race car, his hood, has come off. And that was after he had hooked Earnhardt earlier, so that was his own damage. And fault of damage for why we have yet another caution. Making you feel like Bubba Wallace. Today, your booty barker. We got a long race still. Caution laps are waiting away, or green flag laps are waiting away, but We've got the field pitting here, so Junior's going to pit too. That's the benefit with being back in the pack. You get to see what the leaders do. So everybody get to hit pit road this time. 4 fresh tires and fuel. No adjustments on the 81 following our 4th caution, 2nd for debris. This is 8 laps shorter. We have 13 cautions in the Cup race. We're already at 4 in this one. Not even 20 laps in. More yellows. We've had a caution the first lap after a restart. The last 2 yellows now. Brandon Miller, now Clint Boyer. Hopefully Dale Jr. can pick up some time on pit road currently. We'll see where he restarts. I'm going to guess he can pick up some spots on the restart again. And he did gain time on pit road. Dale Jr. with a quick stop. Gains about a couple positions, now up to 15th. Green flag back in the air. He was in 20th when the caution came out. So 5 spots gained for Dale Jr. on pit road. Challenges to the inside. One car goes to the outside, taking it 3 wide into turn 1. Dale Jr. muscles his way down to the bottom, gaining 4 positions. And make that 5 as he's going to clear 1 car in the Estes in the 157. So Jr. back inside the top 10. Cautions breeding cautions after that 2nd yellow. So cautions 3 and 4 plus the 5 spots gained on pit road definitely helped Earnhardt. I mean, he's higher than where he qualified, which was 14. Oh, no! Another spin and another accident. And that was not Earnhardt's fault. Car just went wide right in front of him in the bus stop. I don't know if he was trying to throw a block or he just overran the corner. And Junior was there, and we have another caution. Now I wish I would have stayed out of the pits to caution before that. This is just ridiculous. We can't even get a green flag lap in. That is 3 straight cautions the first lap after a yellow. Nothing of Dale Jr.'s problems. Oh my gosh. And we still have 1 more pit stop left. We still have over half the race left. We just got to get some green flag laps in here. I know I could pass cars through most of the field until we get closer to the front. It'll be harder because those cars, we don't know how much faster we are than them, if we're faster than them at all. I'm trying to think where I drove up to before Boyer wrecked us. It was like 5th or 6th, something like that. Somewhere around there. Well, that's definitely prolonging the race today. I had a feeling we were going to have something like this. Just the way the Cup race was. There was only 1 yellow. It was my fault. Green flag back in the air. Matt Kenseth's at the tail of the field. He is not having a good day. Lap 26 still. Out of 82. Junior pulling out of line, looking to make a bunch of moves down towards turn 1. 3 wide. A little contact with the 120. John Hamilton gets up to 31st. Caution again. Oh, we got a wreck in the S's. Bobby Labonte's around. That was not involved in that wreck. That was Bobby Labonte who washed up in the S's. He wrecks right in front of John Hamilton, who was right in front of Dale Jr. Another car piles in the back of it. Ay, ay, ay. This is just... What is going on in this race? I can't figure this one out, guys. 6 cautions. We got a decent sized pile up in the S's. Green flag back in the air. And we got cars fanning out of line towards turn 1 again. Junior locking the brakes up into the first turn. 3 wide, down on the bottom as he's trying to make another pass for position. He's up to 24th. Hoping nobody wrecks in the S's this time. It didn't look like Labonte had contact when he had wrecked. It's a good thing he didn't ricochet back in front of traffic, though, when he hit the guardrail in the S's, because that's what happened in the Cup race. We had a wreck after, I think Ryan Newman blew an engine, causing a big wreck there. One car off in the sand. Brandon Miller merges his way back in front of the field, and Junior ran into the back of Aaron Crocker as a result. No caution for it. We stay green. I don't know if Miller had contact that led to that. Junior checking up early into 6. One car threw a late block on him. Crocker's going to get around Earnhardt with that stack up on the outside. 116 trying to get up there. And Junior kind of knocked him out of the way. We'll side draft on Crocker now. Oh, we got a green flag lap in for the first time since, I believe, like lap 15 or 16. Junior squeezing his way down to the bottom in turn 1. Side by side in the S's between Earnhardt. There's also a couple other cars side by side up ahead. Junior back up to 19th. How many cautions have we had today now? 5? 6? I've lost count already. I think that Labonte wreck was caution number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Miller messed up the bus stop. Dale Jr. mows right around him. Big block on Miller in the middle of turn 5. He's able to cross over Brian Vickers in the 57 car. Side by side off the exit of turn 5 as they try to get their way down towards turn 6. Junior on the brakes pretty heavily. Still gets to the outside of Bobby Labonte in the 19 car. Junior goes wide. Out in the grass, it's going to cost him a little bit of time. Allowed for Vickers to hold clear off the exit of turn 7. We got 2 green flag laps in that time. We didn't get a single long green flag run. I think 10 laps is the longest green flag run in the Cup race. Junior finally clears Vickers. Clean pass in turn 1. Labonte's got some damage after he wrecked in the S's, so you'd have to imagine that he's not going to be very quick. Junior gets pinched off, has to lift, let Labonte back in line. Labonte looking low underneath another car. Junior gives him a bump trap. Labonte's going to carry a lot of speed into the bus stop now, side by side with the car. Oh, contact! Just up ahead in the bus stop between the 138 and whoever the generator driver was on the outside. Get me out of this. It's got to be what Dale Jr.'s saying right now. Trying to get around Labonte as Labonte throws a block down this next straightaway. Junior throwing a block on Vickers on the outside. Labonte out braking the 81 car as he tries to get alongside the next car next to him. Labonte will make a pass for position. Dale Jr. down low. Going to break the draft from Vickers behind him after pulling out a line. Bobby Labonte looking to get some of his spots back after spinning in the S's a little bit ago and falling outside of the top 10. And Earnhardt going to make a pass for 15th. Got 40 people watching right now, only 17 likes. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Back up turn 5, trying to beat Labonte back to the throttle. Labonte goes wide, overdrives the entrance to the chute, and Labonte with a block. After making contact with Earnhardt, Dale Jr. down low, trying to outbrake the 19 car. Off the curb, runs into the 138. Contact. Clear into 7. It just stays in front of the 138's front bumper, and we'll go back down low to try and break the draft now down the main straightaway again. Still 49 laps to go. 1 pit stop out from the finish yet. Everybody's pitted once so far in the race today. Where's Boyer? I'm not sure. I'm assuming the top 10. Thanks for tuning in, R6, as well. He was on the top 10 earlier. Qualified 5th. Dale Jr. qualified 14th, finally trying to make his way back up. He's been in the top 10 twice, but not having great luck. Outbreaks one car into the bus stop. Contact up ahead between the 83, the 152. One car went off in the grass behind Earnhardt as well. Merges back up nearly in the side of Labonte. They'll be side by side behind into turn 5. 4 spots up for grabs right in front of Dale Jr. He's still 5.8 seconds off the race lead from J.J. Yaley, who won at IRP earlier today in our first race of the doubleheader. Earnhardt up high into 6. Not going to work. Can't stay alongside of the car he tried to challenge. He did that so he could get to the bottom in 7, but he couldn't stay alongside of him, so it didn't really work out too well. Still 48 laps to go, though. Plenty of time left in this race. Junior trying to power back to the gas, way down low. Looking for a way to get alongside the car in front of him. And he gets closed off. He'll have to just sit and wait again. Junior in prime position to try and outbrake another car into the bus stop. Just cleared him. That was a close call, but he cleared him, and that car overran the corner into the grass as well. Junior makes a clean one for 7th. 2 laps in a row, he's made a pass in the bus stop. 6 seconds off the lead. He's definitely slowing up in traffic as he's trying to make these passes. Casey Kane pulling out of line, looking to make a pass on the 152 car. Looks to have a little bit of damage on the front. Junior right in line behind him. A little bit quicker than the leaders that last lap. Looked to pull out of line, kind of faked it, hopped back in line. Little bump to the back of the 152, wedges his way around him, almost wrecked himself. As he makes that aggressive pass for 10th. He didn't mean to get into him. They kind of checked up off the exit corner. Bit of an accordion effect on the 83. Must have lifted, caused the 79, and then the 152 to check up. Earnhardt got into the 152, but they keep it green. Both keep control of the race cars. Junior kind of power slid. Not really power slid, but he did lock the front tires up a bit into the bus stop that time. So he tries to desperately close in on Casey Kane for 9th place in the 79 car. Gustavo Brian, welcome to the stream. Hopefully I said your last name correctly. Junior definitely closing on Kane in 6. Looks slow towards turn 7. Casey going to hold on. Although he did get loose off the exit of turn 7, but he's going to pull Dale Jr. back onto the main straightaway again. Kane pulling out of line. Will he try to make a move on the 83 car in front of him? Charges. Power slide into turn 1 for Dale Jr. Closes on Kane. Contact into the S's. Jr. trying to wedge himself underneath. And again, kind of thought better of it. Mark DeMars, welcome back into race 2. 83 car now going to pull out of line. Side by side with the 108. Can't make the pass though. Casey Kane bobbles off the curb as they enter 5. Yeah, it has been a wreckfest so far. I kind of figured it was going to be. That's why I kind of foreshadowed it in the... I was basing it off of the Cup race. That is the case. I'll have to remember that when we get back to these 2 races in our custom schedule season. When the time comes. Casey Kane making a pass on the 83. It's taking way too long to get around the 106. Now the 83 back to the outside of Kane as they enter towards turn 1. Casey may try to pick up another spot for position up ahead. Dale Jr. locking the tires up into turn 1. Has a big run. Gets underneath the 83. Looking really low. Kane with a block as he tries to get under the 108 car again. Can't happen. But Jr. does make a pass in turn 1 for 9th. Casey Kane pinches Jr. off. Jr. gets loose in the S's. bobble off the curb that time. Had to lift. Trying to dive bomb on Kane. The 83 went wide in the bus stop, lost a little bit of ground. About half a tank of fuel right now. Casey Kane will pull alongside. The 106 goes to block Kane, cleared him, and as he went to block high on the 79, Junior goes low to get around Kane instead with a nice clean pass. For 8th, and now he'll be on the attack on the car in front of him. Washed a bit wide, though, off turn 7. Junior wedging himself side by side into the S's battle for 7th place. Treacherous area of the track. The 106 squeezes. Dale Jr. really trying to side draft him. Junior clear, though. He's got a lot of clean air in front of him. He's just trying to block. Locks the tires up. 108 lost it. He got loose. He wheel hopped at the middle of the bus stop, and he may have went off into the sand. We continue to stay green. He drove it in deep. So did the 81. Nobody wanted to give. Surprised they didn't make contact with one another. Clear up a little bit of breathing room for Dale Jr., though. That being said, we'll take our first field pass of the race in our second race of the doubleheader today, and we'll see exactly where Martin Truex Jr. is at in the field. And as of right now, Truex is in 3rd, trying to run down the top 2. Thanks for smashing the like. Over 50 people watching right now. 21 likes on the stream. Be sure to hit that like button. And again, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Trying to get Dale Jr. his 3rd career Busch title on NASCAR 6 and his 1st career Cup title. What these do it for Dale Series races. Truex lost a little ground on that straightaway as he's trying to close in on the top 2 in front of him. We'll be about halfway home this time by. We'll have our, next time by rather, we'll have the trivia question at lap 42. And now Truex just hit halfway out of fuel, so it doesn't seem like Junior has got as good a fuel mileage as the rest of the field right now. Truex closing in turn 6. He's just less than a second off the lead into turn 7. Good corner there as well. And I think this is Tony Stewart in the 33 today, not Tony Raines. Looks like the Old Spice car. So Stewart and Yaley battling for position right now. They'll be future Joe Gibbs Racing teammates in NASCAR 07 in the Cup Series. It's a Kevin Harvick incorporated car, though, in the Busch Series that Stewart is driving. Joe Gibbs 18, though, for Yaley. Truex gaining in the bus stop. On the top 2, it's going to be a 3-car battle for the lead here. Truex made his way into the top 5 in points after a good top 10 day at IRP. Finished 7th. Well, we closed in a second on the leaders over the last 2 laps alone. We meaning us with Truex. Stewart may be looking for the lead into turn 7 on J.J. Yaley. A little contact. He put the bumper to the 18. Yaley went wide, that's for certain. We'll go back to Dale Jr. a little further back in the field. As of right now, he's 5.2 seconds off the lead, so he did close a little bit. And we are at lap 42. Oh, he finished 6th? My bad, I was 1 spot off on that. And by the way, Tony Stewart made the pass in turn 1 on J.J. Yaley for the lead. Junior gained about 0.2 of a second. Make that 0.3 of a second through turn 1 and the S's alone that lap. We'll have 40 to go this time by. As he continues to press. I'll pause it down this next straightaway so I can try to find a trivia question for you guys. I'll make that on the main straightaway. That was a quick lap for Dale Jr. Maybe one of his fastest of the race, if not his very fastest of the race. 111.019. I think that was the fastest lap of the race for Earnhardt. All right, I'll try to find a trivia question for you guys, and once I find one, you guys will have a couple laps to try and answer it. Trying to find a Watkins Glen track fact. Alright, I found something a little quickly here. Let me just double check to make sure it's correct. Yep. Alright, today's trivia question on the channel is there are two drivers that are tied for the most wins in the Xfinity Series at Watkins Glen. Who are those two drivers? That is today's trivia question. Who are the two drivers that are tied for the most wins in NASCAR history at Watkins Glen in the Xfinity Series? And the answer to that question will be at the end of lap 47 if you guys don't get the answer right before then. So I'll give you 4 laps, which is probably going to be just under 5 minutes total to try to get today's trivia question correct. Locking to the brakes that time, going into the bus stop. Junior still pressing. This is our longest green flag run of the race today, and I think we are at 9 laps currently. Well, R6 already got it on his first try. Today's trivia question answer is Terry Labonte and Marcus Ambrose. Those are the two most winningest drivers in NASCAR Xfinity Series history at Watkins Glen. They both have 4 wins apiece, and both actually won 3 races in a row as well. So congrats on R6 getting the question correct today. Ron Fellows was a good answer. He won 3 races, though. Joey Logano also won 3. I didn't think anybody was going to get it that quick. If anybody was even going to get it at all. Look how choppy the Esses is. Here, Watkins Glen as Junior goes up the hill. We alternate through the different camera angles for the first time today. Fellows had 3. I had to fact check it just to make sure. He had 3 at the Glen. Logano also had 3. Carl Edwards, next driver for position just up ahead, and then Clint Boyer in the 2 car is in 5th place right now, and he would be the next driver ahead of Carl Edwards. Sorry, 2 positions ahead is Bowyer. Kyle Busch would be in 5th. Bowyer's in 4th right now. Tony Stewart leads at a track he won at quite a bit in his NASCAR career, mainly in the Cup Series, but trying to win this Busch race today. Should be a one-stop race to the end yet. Imagine everybody will have to pit once. All the cautions, I'm not sure exactly how far on fuel you can go. A little mistake there by Carl Edwards going wide in the bus stop. Dale Jr.'s got a lot of pressure on him now into turn 5. Quarter tank of gas left for Earnhardt as he pulls alongside of Edwards, a little contact. Side by side, Edwards with a block. Crossover by Earnhardt. Locks the brakes up into turn 6 as he tries to make the pass. What a move! Textbook crossover by Dale Jr. as he makes the pass on Carl Edwards. Stays in front of him into turn 7. That was a clean pass on cousin Carl for 6th place. Edwards with a couple wins here in the Xfinity Series. The Busch Series, I guess, at this time. He was also a good road course racer in NASCAR, especially in the Xfinity Series. Got Fake Jimmy Johnson in the chat. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be interesting when Dale Jr. gets up to Clint Bowyer. What's going to go down here? Can't afford to be caught up with a caution. Jr. trying to outbrake Busch into the bus stop. Dives underneath him, side by side. Trying to give Busch room into turn 5. Earnhardt up high. Kyle Busch down low. Earnhardt crosses him over in the middle of the corner. Gets to the inside of Kyle Busch. And we've got a drag race. Junior trying to side draft the 5 cars. They enter towards turn 6. Busch down low. Earnhardt up high. Contact into the corner. That contact just allowed for Kyle Busch to clear Dale Jr. Jr. though powers back to the bottom again. Through turn 7. Trying to side draft that right rear corner panel of Busch. They're still side by side towards turn 1. Pass made. Nope, still side by side, now clear into the S's. Dale Jr. to P5. For the first time today, Dale Jr.'s in the top 5 at Watkins Glen. It was a long time coming. Taking over half the race. He didn't even lead a lap at IRP either. And now trying to close on the 2 of Bowyer. Definitely got through the bus stop better than him. Bowyer-Earnhardt rivalry part 4 tonight at the Glen. Junior closes in turn 6 and 7 as well, all over the back of Clint Bowyer off the exit of the corner. They're only 3 seconds off the lead of Tony Stewart right now. And down into turn 1 we go. We got Fake Dale Sr. in the chat as well. Welcome into the stream. Junior closing in turn 1. Mark Truex Jr. is all over the back of J.J. Yeley for second as Tony Stewart's definitely starting to pull away with the lead. What is the tactic here between Clint Bowyer and Dale Jr.? How is Jr. going to get around him? He passed him clean before Bowyer hooked him. What will happen this time? We are getting close to pit stops. Junior punts Bowyer. Oh, big wreck. Both cars into the sand. Oh, my goodness. I think Bowyer hit the guardrail. Oh, my gosh. I need to see what happened there. He punted Bowyer going into the corner, but Bowyer came back across the track like he hit the guardrail. No, he didn't. I think he hit the curb. And the curb threw him back into the 81. Heavy damage on both cars. That didn't end well. I don't know what the fuel window is to the end. Nobody else is going to pit. And that is caution number 7 tonight. Longest green flag run. Junior, whether you guys like it or not, I have to pit. Not only because I was involved in the accident, but there is a lot of damage on the front of the 81 car right now. He's got heavy damage on the right front and the left front. They were both in dark red. as they spun off into the sand. That winner's plan. That did not go as planned. Yeah, Boyer, I didn't expect Boyer to bounce off the curb like that. Junior got back alongside of him. Still outside the pit window to make it to the end because nobody hit pit road during that caution, which was, again, the 7th of the day. And we will try this again. Use my tactics. Green flag back in the air. There's only one car out of the race today. That's insane. All the wrecks we've had. Green flag back in the air. 31 laps to go. Big checkup down on the bottom of the track as Dale Jr. Down on the bottom of the track, picks up a lot of time towards turn 1. Not much longer Earnhardt can go on fuel here, and he'll probably have to pit this time by. So we have just 30 laps to go this time by as well. Will we get another wreck? 3 wide nearly. Oh, one car hard in the wall. The 108 up into the tire wall towards turn 5. Junior had to sandwich himself 3 wide middle. He got out of it, luckily. Junior trying to outbrake a couple more cars towards turn 6. Squeezes so he can get down to the bottom. And there's a checkup right now, and he can't get to the inside. Cars were hitting pit road as the windows open to the end of the race. Dale Jr. was stuck on the top. He couldn't get to the pits. Can he make it another lap? He has to make it another lap. Can't afford to run out at this road course. Or maybe game over for Dale Jr. I don't know that these guys can make it 30 laps on fuel either. It is going to be very close on fuel to the end of the race. And I think we're setting up for a fuel mileage race the way all 7 of these cautions have played out today. Junior driving it in deep. Contact. Junior gets turned again, and he's parked in the grass. I'm going to have to pit because I'm going to run out of fuel now. Golly. I'm going to have to take fuel and tires this time. I don't know if anybody can make it on fuel to the end of the race, but that will be caution number 8. Junior passed him clean. The car underneath him just couldn't make it. It's tough to go side by side in the S's in the bus stop, though. I should have known. Oh, jeez. All the cars that just hit pit road are going to be out in front now. That was a perfect timing caution for everybody that hit pit road that first lap after the restart. I have to take fuel and tires here. I'd run out on the restart if... I don't even know if Junior is going to make it on fuel back around to pit road. He only had a couple more corners to go, and there goes some of the drivers staying out. This race has not gone according to plan for Dale Jr. today, that's for certain. We'll see how many spots this team can pick up on pit road this time. Well, it's not a big crash. It was just kind of a lazy spin between 2 cars. I don't even think they both went to the grass, but that car down low just overdrove it. And I don't know if maybe he hit the curb like Boyer did earlier. He was just getting ran into the grass. They both lost control when they got to the grass. So we're still making contact. Doesn't look like Junior picked up a couple spots on pit road, but he's still going to be towards the back of the pack, though. Well, green flag back in the air. Junior going to restart in 23rd. Caution number 8. The 83 car is out in front right now. One of the fantasy drivers. Contact into turn 1 that stacks up the field. And that allowed for Junior to pick up a lot of spots down on the bottom. He's up to 17th, gaining, looks like 7 6 or 7 spots. Just got by his teammate Truex, who's in the top 5 in points. Who will be the first of the faster cars to get to the front of the field, or will the 83 be able to hold on and pull off an upset victory? Junior's got to be careful, can't afford to bring out another caution now. And he's got to stay out of trouble too, because they may wreck in front of him at any point. Side by side in front of Earnhardt. Looking to the bottom into turn 6. Oh, he got really loose off the curb. Sent him down towards the grass. Clint Boyer's just a few positions ahead. He's falling outside of the top 10. And Aaron Crocker now will take the lead off turn 7 back to the start-finish line. Still 25 laps to go. These guys are going to have to go 26 laps on fuel that pitted during the caution. 29 laps roughly for those cars that pit before the caution. The only thing with those cars that pit before the yellow, they were able to save some laps under fuel, so they really only have about one last lap of fuel in their cars than everybody else. Junior's getting squeezed right now. A little contact. Junior trying to say, give me a little bit of room. And they'll weasel their way single file towards turn number 5, well, turn 4 rather, into the bus stop. Boyer gets around Yaley for position. Pass for 11th. I think Tony Stewart right in front of Boyer. Oh, look at Edwards making a pass on Vickers. Junior looking low into turn 7 underneath Vickers himself. Side by side. Side drafted him, pulls away. Down into turn 1, Vickers trying to block contact up ahead. Boyer may have tried to move Stewart out of the way, and that allows for Boyer to look low underneath Stewart. Junior makes the pass on the bottom in turn 1 on Brian Vickers, side by side through the SSO with Carl Edwards in the 60. Contact with Edwards. Junior and Edwards battling for the points lead in the Cup Series. Junior clears Edwards into the braking zone. Oh, contact, Stewart. Boyer, 3 wide to the outside goes Yaley. What a move by the 18 car. Yaley gets by both Boyer and Stewart, who got together in the bus stop. 3 wide to the top goes Yaley in turn number 4, heading to 5, and he just cleared him in time. Boyer now with the dive bomb. Underneath Stewart, side by side. Stewart down low. Boyer up high. Junior has a run. Looks low. Trying to get around the 2 car. He's going to send it into turn 1. Boyer sends it as well to the outside. Boyer runs into Earnhardt. Boyer ran into Earnhardt, but Earnhardt will actually get around Boyer. Tried to stay as low as he could through the corner. And now he really needs to get around Stewart and Yaley quickly and hope that Boyer doesn't get a chance. He turned him in the bus stop earlier. And then they wrecked in the bus stop another time earlier. Contact Stewart trying to move Yaley. 33. Oh, contact up ahead inside the top 10. 1 car into the wall heading towards turn 5. And we've got a caution back in the pack. I think Boyer might have wrecked. Caution is out. I think Clint Boyer wrecked in the bus stop. Trying to get to Dale Jr. No, it was somebody else. Never mind. We got another wreck back in the pack. 1 car in the sand. It looked like 2 cars in the sand. Bounce off the curb by the 121. Shot himself in the 103 into the sand. We have a caution again. And Boyer did lose 2 spots in the bus stop, so there's going to be a couple cars between Boyer and Earnhardt for this next restart. As we have now picked up caution, I believe if I haven't miscounted, I believe that is the 9th yellow. We're going to have roughly 20 laps to go in the restart at the Glen in what has been just a wild night of racing. Aaron Crocker is going to lead to the restart, trying to get her first win since the season opener at Daytona. 19 laps to go as the green flag's back in the air. Got a fake Brian France count in the chat now. Oh, what a move by Earnhardt. He kept it on the racing surface that time too. Used the curbing and moves past 3 cars on the restart. 4 if he can get around this car, and the SS and does. Up to 8th, Dale Jr. has gained 4 spots. He might be the first car of those that pitted during the caution, but it wouldn't matter. I mean, everybody's on equal tires anyway. So hard to pass at this track. When you get longer after the restart. 1 car wide. The 83 lost 2 spots to Matt Kenseth and Brandon Miller. Kenseth has rallied after being deep in the field. I think he just qualified poorly, but he is up inside the top 5. I think he's up to either 2nd or 3rd right now. I think he's 2nd. Oh, contact! Right in front of Earnhardt. And that causes Dale Jr. to go wide. He locked the brakes up, almost gets into Jourdain as he comes back onto the racing surface. Pandemonium at the Glen, side by side for the lead at the front of the field. I think Mark Martin's in the mix of it. Side by side through the S's. Junior made a pass in turn 1 on Jourdain for 7th meanwhile. Junior drafting off Shane Meal. Gonna try to back up the bus stop this time. The 83 makes a charge to the bottom underneath Brandon Miller. Miller gets into the side of the 83 car. They make contact. That's slowing up Meal and Earnhardt just a little bit. Dale Jr. down low. Cautions out. Back in the pack again. Another yellow flag. And this is going to prolong this race a little bit more again in the bus stop. This time it's the 86 car who spins, collects the 56 as well as they both go into the sand. And that is, I believe, if I'm counting correctly, caution number 10 in the Busch series. Oh my goodness. Another restart coming up. Junior restarts at 6th. He wasn't quite ahead of Meal. Car's already pulling out of line. Mark Martin restarts in the lead as we have just 14 laps to go now for the restart. Junior putting the bumper to Shane Meal, trying to knock him out of the way. The 83 underneath Miller as well. 2 by 2 into the S's. More contact between Earnhardt and Meal. Slowing each other. Oh no! They almost wrecked as Earnhardt clears Meal for position and outblocks him. He's up to 6 now. That was dangerous. Almost lost control. Meal trying to cross him over into the bus stop. Side by side. Contact. And Meal gets him back. That was not a good restart for Dale Jr. that time. Well, they made it through the bus stop further back. Coming to 13 to go this time by. Junior closes in turn 6. Now Meal's upset though with Dale Jr. Junior was aggressively trying to get around the 32 car. Can't blame Meal for being upset. Mark Martin holds on to the lead at least for first lap after the restart. Junior looking low into turn 1 again. Kind of undercut the corner just a bit. .2 seconds off the lead as Dale Jr. still has 6 cars to pass. Gets alongside Shane Meal again. Little loose in the S's though. Junior stayed in the gas, but that cut the momentum off just enough even if he stayed in the gas. Meal hard on the brakes into the bus stop. Dale Jr. gonna get alongside Shane Meal that time. He backed out of it. He did. Oh, and cautions out again, likely in the bus stop. And we'll have a restart with less than 10 laps to go now. The 119 car spins into the 112. Caution number 11. And the 119 actually got into the wall. after sliding through the sand. And we're about to have another restart. Dale Jr. didn't get any spots that last time into turn 1. He's going to have to go for it now. 9 laps to go. Martin got to survive another restart late. Survived the last one. Dale Jr. into the back of Shane Meal. He's hooked on him. Meal with the block. Oh, Jr. goes up the track though in the S's. He's in the wall. At least with all these cautions, they're going to be able to make it on fuel now. Junior stays in front of Yaley. He's going to have to block the 18 car into the bus stop. Junior locking the brakes up. Trouble behind. Yaley cleans the car out into the sand. Caution again. And when these guys are running out of laps, Yaley wrecked that time. Contact with Michael Jourdain Jr. Our 12th yellow of the race. I mean, this might be the last restart. The race could end under yellow if we get another caution after this next restart. We're going to have about 5, maybe less than that, laps to go. Nathan Elliott, welcome to the stream. I'll hit that like button, subscribe again if you have not already. 5 laps to go. Race could end with another yellow. Junior's got to send it into turn 1. Hope he can get a spot out of it. Down on the inside. Under Shane Meal. Meal runs Earnhardt down the track just a little bit. Junior at least going to get by the 32 car. Kenseth goes wide. Crocker side by side with Kenseth in the S's, while Junior side by side with Brandon Miller in the S's. Best restart Junior's had in a while. A little draft off the 83 car. He has cleared Brandon Miller for position. Locking the brakes up, going into the bus stop. Clears Miller. Side by side. Nearly contact between Matt Kenseth and Aaron Crocker. Will we stay green that time? We do. Junior trying to get to the inside of the 83. Not quite there. Great run for this 83 car so far today. Dale Jr. charges hard to the outside. He gets into Kenseth. Contact with the 83. He goes wide. He's in the grass. No caution. We stay green. Four to go. I was really hoping that wasn't going to end the race. And Junior would have caused the accident too. Tough break for the 83 car. He was in the top 5 having a good day. Junior got in the back of Kenseth. And I kind of wadded him up, and that's what led to the contact between the 81 and the 83. Junior hangs on. Top 4, less than a second off the lead. Mark Martin leads Aaron Crocker, Matt Kenseth, and Dale Jr. Into the bus stop. Hoping the rest of the field makes it through the bus stop this time. Junior closes on Matt Kenseth in the 17 car. Looks low. Into turn 5. He outmaneuvers Kenseth. He is up to 3rd. Clear. Clean pass in turn 5 for Dale Jr. Now has to block as they head towards turn 6. Kenseth trying to draft the 81. Crocker outbreaks Martin. Maybe a little wide goes Crocker that time. Nope, she did close on Martin. Martin trying to hang on. We stay green to 3 to go. If we get to the white flag, there will be no caution there, but if we get a caution before that, it could end the race. Dale Jr. closing. Decided not to go side by side in the S's with Eric Crocker. Crocker lost a little bit though on Mark Martin through the S's. That's why Dale Jr. had such a big run on her. Into the bus stop. 6 car going a bit wide. Off the curb. Crocker got loose. Junior puts the bumper to Crocker in the middle of turn 5. Door to door for second place. Crocker made a mistake that opened the door for Dale Jr. Jr. side drafts a 6. He'll be on the outside into turn 6. Oh, what a move on the top side to get around Crocker. Up to P2. 2 to go this time by. Dale Jr. has not led a lap all day today. And with 2 to go, is up to his highest running position in this race. Hoping they can stay green to the end. Closes on Martin in turn 1. He is there. A little bump to the back of the 9 car. Junior tight in the dirty air behind the 9 of Martin. Had to lift a little bit extra that time to get the car to turn and keep it off the guardrail. That's not going to give him a great run unless he can get a good run in the draft this time. Will they stay green long enough to get back to the white flag? And if they do, there won't be another caution. A little bump to the 9. Martin goes wide. Junior to the lead. He moved Martin out of the way into the bus stop. Oh my goodness, the bump and run. Dale Jr. leads for the first time today at Watkins Glen. He didn't know if a caution was going to come out back in the pack, and he didn't want that to be the last chance. Will Martin get back to him? And Martin didn't wreck. We'll be coming to the white flag, final lap of the race. Junior trying to break the draft from the 9 car behind him. That's 5 bonus points at least for Dale Jr., but that's the least of his worries right now. He's just really hoping Martin doesn't get back to him. Ken's it to the inside. Will get around Crocker in turn 1 for 3rd. As they battle for position. Just over half a second lead for Dale Jr. Jr. with a win will match Boyer for the most wins this Busch Series season at 7 apiece. And he'll close in on the 2 car who wrecked late. And likely fell outside the top 10. He's probably still in the race, but Junior's got to survive for 2 more corners after this one. Martin closed on the bus stop and into turn 5 just a bit, but it's still about a half a second lead. Kenseth all over the back bumper of the 9 cars. They may battle for second into the final 2 corners. Dale Jr. backing up turn 6. Martin's too far away to get to the bumper into 7. The checkered flag will be waving off turn 7. Dale Jr. led just the final 2 laps of the race today, but he is going to survive and win at Watkins Glen. Fought hard all day, fighting through adversity. A spin and win for Dale Jr. at the Glen. Multiple spins and a win. He had to race aggressive on that final restart. He moved Meal out of the way, he moved Crocker out of the way, and he moved Martin out of the way. But he wasn't sure if we were going to get another caution like we did all day long, where we had just repeated yellows in the bus stop. So he didn't know what lap was going to be the last lap, and that's why he was as aggressive as he was. So he didn't want to lose an opportunity to win this. That's amazing. Let's go. That was a thriller. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I know, that's not the real Jimmy Johnson. Obviously, it's not the real Dale Sr. For obvious reasons. Oh, jeez. 3 hours, 27 minutes. This race wasn't quite as long as the Cup race. It was close, though. 12 cautions for 36 caution laps. 8 laps shorter than the Cup race. That might have been the difference in us maybe having 13 cautions like the Cup race. To the front and back. Multiple times, Dale Jr. finally was able to get to the lead coming to the white flag. He led just the final 2 laps. Oh my goodness. Big points day. Big points day. Mark Martin finishes second. Led 16 laps all towards the late going. He got moved. He had a shot at his first Busch win of the year, which would have made it 11 different winners. He got moved out of the way by Earnhardt. I feel bad it was Mark Martin of all drivers that had that happen to him, but Junior's running for points here. Martin isn't. And Dale Jr. needed to get back into this. Boyer had problems late. We'll check his finish in a little bit, but Matt Kenseth finished third. He didn't lead a lap. Started 42nd. It looked like he was never going to get through the field. Somehow found his way up towards the front late. Good run. Good finish for him. Aaron Crocker had a great run. Came in 9th in points. Finishes 4th. Led 8 laps. Also had a top 5 at IRP to move up a spot in the standings in the last race. Tony Stewart, I believe he led the most laps today. 32 laps led of the 82. Finished 5th. Kyle Busch ends up finishing 6th. Carl Edwards 7th, Shane Meal 8th, Johnson 9th, and Brian Vickers rounds out the top 10. Boyer finishes 12th after wrecking late. I knew when he wrecked he fell outside the top 10. And it was all on his own. Junior gets the leg up in this rivalry today. Yaley led 22 laps, started on pole, finished 15th, couldn't back up that win at IRP. Truex unfortunately finished 17th today. Just could never get back through the field, lost some time on pit road, and his late cautions did him in. Only 6 lead changes today. Probably because there were so many caution laps, they didn't give an opportunity for lead changes. And only 1 DNF despite 12 cautions. Fantasy driver of Irvin at some point at lap 46. Probably wrecked out considering all the cautions we've had. Unbelievable race. We gotta check the point standings now. I think with Yaley finishing 15th, even though he led laps, Junior obviously won, so he would have led laps as well. I think Dale Jr. is up to 2nd in the standings, ladies and gentlemen. And just think, he was 11th in points about 6 races ago. What a comeback. And there are still 11 races left on the season, and the next race will be at Michigan this weekend. Jeez Louise. 250 miler, 125 laps at Michigan. Intermediates have been hit or miss so far in the Busch and Cup Series season, so we'll see how that will go. It'll be our first race of the Busch Series season at Michigan. Ran a truck race and a cup race there so far. No, it's a real win when the bots. You got that right, Dark Crypto. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Dale Jr. 2nd in points. Came into this race, 283 out of first, I believe. Boyer finishing outside the top 10. Didn't lead a lap. Dale Jr. did lead laps. Finished first. So now he's only 225 out of first. Still over 1 race out of first. May need Boyer to DNF, but he's up to P2. So if Boyer DNFs, Junior's got a shot. Or, if he keeps having bad finishes like he did today, that could happen as well. I believe this is the final road course race of the season, though. I think it was just 2. They just so happened to be in the last 3 races. How about Dale Jr. sweeping the Busch Series road course races? First in both of them. Truex still top 5 in points. Despite not having a good day today, there were a lot of guys around him that didn't have good finishes. Meal finished top 10. Yaley did not, so he closed. Well, he actually lost points to Yaley again because Yaley beat him by a couple positions. And led laps. Truex didn't lead any. Crocker's still 9th in points. And not a lot of drivers in the top 10 won. It's a good thing Mark Martin's not running for points this season. He's probably going to be upset, and he's probably going to be a rival next race we see him. He doesn't run every race, so maybe we won't see him for a while. Or maybe we'll see him at Michigan and he wrecks us on lap 1. Who knows? I have to wait and find out. What a race, though. Boyer playing, yeah. Well, he's got 7 wins just like I do. 2 most winningest drivers, both with 7 apiece, are 1st and 2nd. He just I think he's only DNF'd like one time this year. No, twice. He DNF'd twice. Both in the middle of the season. But then he went on a hot streak after that and rattled off like 3 wins in a 4-race stretch. 3 wins in 4 races. And the one race he didn't win in that stretch, he DNF'd. I remember New Hampshire, he definitely finished last in that race, blew an engine. He just went on a hot streak there for a little bit. Now Dale Jr.'s won 2 of the last 3. And he has won 3 of the last 5. Listen to these finishes for Dale Jr. as of late. This is to try to go from 11th in points up to 2nd now. And I think at one point I was like over 500 points out of first with those 2 DNFs by Boyer, and we just kept finishing races. Here's the finishes for Dale Jr. 1st, 5th, 1st, 7th, 1st in the last 5 races. 30th, 39th before that kind of slipped back a little bit. Before that, though, 1st, 3rd, 1st, 6th, 6th, 1st. So we have finished 7th or better in 11 of the last 13 races. I mean, what a hot streak. 6 of our 7 wins this season have come in the last 13 races. And we finished in the top 5. Top 5 in 8 of the last 13. Podiums in 7 of the last 13. I mean, this is an absurd streak we're on right now to try and catch Boyer. We need to keep it alive, though. We're still if Boyer doesn't DNF the rest of the season, we have to keep this hot streak alive if we're going to even have a chance of catching him. But 11 races, I think I can make that up if I'm perfect. It was tough to be perfect today, and it was not perfect by any means. But the finish was more dictating of just the pure, I guess, kind of luck we had there towards the end. I'm very lucky the 83 car did not wreck when we made contact after I got into Edwards on that restart. It was turn 6 on the first lap after the restart. If he would have wrecked there, I mean, the race would have ended and we wouldn't have had a shot at the win. Probably would have finished like 6th. But he didn't wreck. Rod G, thanks for the $5 super chat right at the end. Here's a little something for that win. Thank you for double header tonight. Great live stream. Yeah, this was definitely a great race. And thank you so much again for your support. Especially over the last week. And thanks for all of your guys' support over the last couple weeks. 26 likes on the stream. We had over 50 people watching there towards the end of the race. So be sure to hit that like button if you have not already. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you back better than ever tomorrow. We pick up NASCAR 21 Ignition once again tomorrow night, and it'll start at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be heading to Kansas for the second race of the round of 8 of the playoffs on our final season. Can we get Ryan Blaney a win and advance to the Championship 4? We're only 19 points above the cutoff line going into Kansas tomorrow after DNF and no stage points at Texas, finishing with just 1 point, finishing in the last place position. Can't afford that again if we're going to make it to the Championship 4. Unless that does happen again, then we'll have to be in a must-win situation in a 500-lap Martinsville race on NASCAR 21 Ignition. I don't expect Martinsville to go too well, so we might have to win Kansas tomorrow night, and we'll see if we can do just that. Gonna have to be patient and then be aggressive late in the race when it matters most, but we got to save our stuff for then. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you then. Can't wait. Have a good rest of your night. What a race. It was a crapshoot. Don't get me wrong, it was not the cleanest race by any means, but it was a fight them out, trudge them out, grind it out kind of a race. It was exciting, to say the least. See you guys tomorrow.